think I came across this book about 5 years ago, and there's been one paragraph in particular that stuck in my mind ever since, which I've always wondered about. And I actually wrote to the author about this paragraph, which I'll explain after I've read it. So this is from about halfway through the book when Ruth Denison is back in Germany, visiting from the United States. The house in Hanover was owned by a photographer named Anneliese Buschbaum, who had her own unique way of teaching mindfulness. She made regular trips to the Sahara Desert to photograph. Then she projected the images for groups of people, quote, to teach them the silence through the movement of the sand, unquote. Ruth elaborates. She speaks Dharma through the sand movement of the Sahara, so to speak. They leave and they don't know they got their Buddha Dharma teaching, where they got their Buddha Dharma teaching, sorry. With the Dharma, you can do this because it relates directly, without any agent, to your blood cells, to your touch of life, and to touch of death, which is to touch life, and to your intellect and intelligence. Through calming the mind so deeply, in the experience of body touch, you have pure energy in your mind and you begin to see clearly. Intellect becomes wisdom then. And I emailed the author, and when I looked back, it was about 5 years ago. So that's how long I've kind of been thinking about this idea. And tried to find out who this lady was, the photographer Anneliese Buschbaum, to see if I could see any of her images. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to track her down. So I'm still none the wiser about what her photographs might have looked like. But I've been fascinated ever since by the idea of a photograph which teaches the Dharma, or in Ruth Denison's version, a photograph which perhaps gives people an experience which leads them to be enlightened. And to translate it into Pure Land terms, I think it's probably, it would be a photograph or an image which maybe makes us more in touch with the Pure Land, or an image that maybe inspires us to a vision of the Pure Land. And there's certainly a very strong theme of art and Dharma in lots of Buddhist teachers' writings. So I'm just going to read another short passage by Chogyam Trungpa, who wrote a lot about art and its relationship with Buddhism. Just one moment. The term Dharma art does not mean art depicting Buddhist symbols or ideas, such as the Wheel of Life or the story of Buddha. Rather, Dharma art refers to art that springs from a certain state of mind on the part of the artist that could be called the meditative state. It is an attitude of directness and unself-consciousness in one's creative work. The basic problem in artistic endeavor is the tendency to split the artist from the audience and then try to send a message from one person to another. When this happens, art becomes exhibitionism. One person may get a tremendous flash of inspiration and rush to put it down on paper to impress or excite others. And a more deliberate artist may strategize each step of his work in order to produce certain effects on his viewers. But no matter how well-intentioned or technically accomplished such approaches may be, they inevitably become clumsy and aggressive towards others and towards oneself. In meditative art, the artist embodies the viewer as well as the creator of the work. Vision is not separate from operation, and there is no fear of being clumsy or failing to achieve this aspiration. He or she simply makes a painting, poem, piece of music, or whatever. In that sense, a complete novice could pick up a brush and with the right state of mind, produce a masterpiece. It is possible, but that is a very hit and miss approach. In art, as in life generally, we need to study our craft, develop our skills, and absorb the knowledge and insights passed down by tradition. So, as I said, I've been reflecting on this idea of an image that might connect us with the Pure Land for some time. And I have my own image, because I've kind of come to a temporary conclusion that probably each person's image is different, whereas Anneliese Buschbaum showed the same images to each person. I kind of wonder if each person's image that might inspire us probably is quite different. So I'm just going to share my screen so I can show you my image. Just one moment. So this is my two daughters, and this was taken last summer in August when we had a naming ceremony for our youngest, Zoe-Anne, and also for Michaela, because she hadn't had a naming ceremony before that. And this is my image at the moment that puts me in touch with the Pure Land, or that gives me some flavour of that. And I'd invite you to reflect on what might inspire you to get in touch with the Pure Land, with an image, song, or something different. And in the text, the first text that I read, they talked about images of the Sahara. I would have loved, if we weren't in lockdown, to visit the Sahara to take my own pictures to show you, but that wasn't possible. However, we do have a order member currently in Namibia who has taken some images of the desert, excuse my pronunciation if it's not quite correct, Namib Desert, which are courtesy of Julene. So here are two of the images that Julene sent to me. And for the next part of the service, there's going to be a period of silent meditation, and I'd invite you during this time to bring your attention, rather than to your breath, to Julian's images. Namo Amitabha.